everyone, to our Groundskeeper Chat series. I am coming to you live from the Wichita Wind Surge grounds crew office. It's a crisp, 68, 70 degrees in here?
The thermostat says 71.
71.
It feels cooler.
Because it's blazing outside.
It's 95.
It was not very kind to us today.
We still got a long ways to go.
Yeah. It's 2 p.m. right now. Yep. So the crew just finished prepping for the day, but I'm sure you're gonna reset it all again right before game time. Yeah,
BP starts at 4.
Okay.
All set up, and then pregame will be around 5:45, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
First pitch at 7, and then if all goes well, hopefully out of here by like 10:30.
And then you do it all again tomorrow.
Yep.
And so we were talking earlier today, and I always categorize you. I've said this a few times on the chat, like you are in the 1% of the 1%, like people who actually had this career on their radar, knew that they wanted to do this right out of the gate. Do you ever sit back and take a moment to be like, wow, I am living the childhood dream. Like not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah, it's fun. What's really cool is actually 3-4 weeks ago, I went to my 10-year high school reunion.
Okay, cool.
And everybody came out to me and repeatedly said, it's so cool that I'm doing what I talked about I wanted to do in high school. And
yeah, you were probably one of the only ones.
Yeah, it's always a humbling moment to think about that and look back and be like, okay, this is what I talked about doing, and we're living it out.
Yeah. What is like one thing when you were, I think also when you are that age, you kind of have that invincibility complex where it's like a lot of us are just like, yeah, it will work out. Like you don't know the unknown. But was there anything about this career or this job that was intimidating that now it just comes as like second nature to you?
Yeah, just knowing what your field's going to do. Now, the nice thing is, or not, whatever, which way you want to look at it, is like it's a different challenge every single day. But now at least I can walk out and let's say like we get half-inch of rain and we didn't put the tarp on. I can tell you pretty quick if we're going to be okay or not.
Yeah, yeah. And this start of this episode is very telling of the kind of day I've had so far. I was up pretty early and we're on question 2 and I forgot to introduce you. So I said we are in Wichita with the Wind Surge, but we are joined right now by Mr. Ben Hartman, Director of Field Operations.
Yep.
Okay, look at that. So I'm still, we were just talking with Will Cole from the Salem Red Sox, so another minor league baseball, and saying that there's no consistency across the league when it comes to titles.
Nope.
So that was really just like a shot in the dark for me.
Turf manager.
Sports field manager, sports turf manager, like director of, like you never know what you're going to get. But Director of Field Operations, Mr. Ben Hartman. So this will be your 3rd time on the Groundskeeper Chat.
Yes.
So I think we did a solo episode, and then we had you join us with Jacob Scales in Palm Springs, and now we're back and better than ever.
Well, what's cool is you're sitting here live and in person, and you get to experience Wichita yourself.
Exactly. I just had a great meal at the Monarch right next to the stadium. But no, really just seeing kind of all of you guys in your element this morning. There was not a lot of like yelling across the field or even talking at all. It was just like a well-oiled machine. Everyone just kind of fell into place of this, great symphony that was happening.
Yeah.
It was really cool to experience that. And, I love the game time rush and chaos, but also I'm sure that, you were saying you kind of feel at home, like, or there's some piece to that game day prep.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we are, I believe we're at like game 45 now. So I hope we're
into the swing of things.
Well-oiled, but yeah, no, it was a good productive morning. We got a lot done, and just, it's always nice getting into that game day routine, and you check the boxes and you know where you're at, and yeah, it was good little Tuesday.
Definitely. And catch everyone up on how the summer has gone so far. What did the crew look like? How was staffing as far as how did you find these folks? How easy was it to get people into the swing of things? and just how you guys have operated as a crew this summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably 75% returners.
Nice.
I think we have 5 or 6 new hires, and I think this year's been the best crew we've had just for the molding of the new hires with the returners, and everybody's just clicking and doing well. I feel like it's been a really good year as far as crew goes. Blessed for a crew. And I know you're going to see this in a little bit once everybody starts rolling in for 4:00 shift, but I know I probably make a lot of minor league guys jealous on having one of the bigger crews in minor league baseball.
No, that is huge. And just to have that kind of camaraderie or culture when you have a day like today, when it's going to get up into the high 90s, long day, you know, a little blip in the system could throw everything off. Like, but to be able to, you know, come back to the shop and kind of have that foundation, I'm sure is really important.
It is. Yeah. And these guys are grinders. I mean, they dig in and buy into what we're trying to do and understand that, you know, one of the questions when you get hired on is, are you willing to work in all weather aspects? Right now we're obviously in the 100-degree temperature days, but at the beginning of the season, some nights it can get, you know, as low as 40, if not a little bit lower. So, yeah.
So Wichita and Cleveland are very much alike in that realm, that it's like you never know what you're going to get.
A crazy stat that I like talking about Wichita, and it just shows how hard it is to battle here with grass and trying to grow, is that from our highest high to our lowest low, we're 140-degree temperature. So like,
oh my gosh. Yep. Wait, I didn't even know. Yep. So what's your, like, what is your lows in the winter then?
We can get as low as -10.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see that maybe 2 weeks out of the year.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay. So in the winter, what are you guys doing? Is it a lot of, you know, like maintenance on your tools and your equipment, or does that, you know, I know you guys typically go to conference, but what do you really prioritize in the off season?
Planning, equipment maintenance, little projects, a lot of days in the shop. Those get old pretty quick, but just trying to find stuff to do and stay busy. And it ends up going by pretty quick though.
Yeah. How many full-time guys do you have on with you?
2 of us, just myself and my assistant.
Okay. And so I wanted to talk about Jake a little bit because he was, you know, I was asking him where he was from, and he's from Houston.
Yeah.
And he said that you guys crossed paths when you were both interning for the...
He was a game day guy and I interned.
Okay. Yep. For the Astros.
Yep, for the Astros. So we worked for 2 seasons together. And, it's kind of cool when I went on and kept moving on and growing in my career. And then my first year here in 2021, I was by myself. I had Brandon, like we talked about, but by myself, just full-time wise. And so I worked hard to get an assistant spot opened up. And once that happened, I sent probably to 5 or 6 different guys texts like, hey, got a job if you know anybody. And Jake bit, and it's been a good fit. And man, we work so well together. It's awesome. There's a lot of days that I'll think of something to have him to do, and he's already doing it. It's really nice. Yeah.
That is, like, I think one of the things a groundskeeper, at least from doing this for a long time, like they'll say just having like that innate, I don't know what it would be, but just that ability to want to, like, before you're even told, just wanting to get the job done. Yep. And it really being, you know, partnership. What are some other things about him that, like, you can recognize that he comes to the table with that you would love, like, all groundskeepers to have?
Yeah, I think this is a nature of being a father, but he does a really good job with the high school boys and does a really good job. You know, I grew up in the era of like, hey, here's the key, here's the parking brake, turn it on and go.
Yeah.
You know, he actually does a good job of taking time with all the guys, and it's really cool to be able to sit back and watch him legitimately teach the guys how to do different stuff throughout the yard.
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely can tell that you guys work well together. And same as you mentioned before, Brandon, like meeting him this morning, I was like, that's a good guy. Like, great. You can just tell. And I think I've really experienced that with everyone that I've come across today, just well-natured, like, and really at the end of the day, just happy to be here.
Yep.
Like, it's not a bad day at work.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. I try to hire guys that just want to be here, right? Like, I can teach you how to do everything, but like you wanting to be here is going to be the first step.
Definitely. And so any big events you guys have had this summer that you had to pull off? Or like July 22nd.
Yeah.
So
we have we have a lot coming up. So we have 4 concerts. We have a collegiate summer championship game. And then that's kind of coming around the corner here. So luckily the concerts, the stage is on the dirt, so that's nice, but general admissions on the infield and hips. So just having those back to back, those will be long nights, especially because you're here until the stage is off the field, and that usually ends up being 3 or 4 a.m.
Yikes. So this couch that I'm sitting on is bad for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's a good napping couch for sure.
It's nice. Yep. And how do you get through those long days? Like, is that just something that comes second nature to you by now?
It does. I think you just mentally prepare yourself. Like, we've known this is coming up for a long time, so just mentally get ready for it, and also know that it's not an everyday thing.
Yeah, I think I struggle with that a little bit. Like, if I know something is coming down the line, like, I will get in like an anxious fit about it for the days, the weeks leading up. Yeah. Like, I don't know how you keep that like good perspective on it. Like, because I feel like I would just be consumed like, oh geez, like, okay, we got through today, but this thing is still on the schedule. Like, how do you just kind of, take it one day at the time, but also keeping that big picture? Because somebody's got to, be keeping tabs on everything.
Yeah. It's a good question. I haven't really thought about it. I would pull it out. It's sitting over there, but I have a calendar for the year that I plan out in January. And so just put everything on there, and then, you just check the boxes off and check the days off, and you're like, okay, got that done. Let's get the next thing done.
Yep. Well, yeah. So definitely was 2 things I know to be true. Like, I could never be a groundskeeper, one, because of the elements. Like, I would have to say in that interview, like, no, I'm not willing to work in all weather elements. And 2, also, I think that unknown factor where it's like, you just put your head down, get it done, and move on to the next thing. Like, I need a very clear cut clock in, clock out operation.
Yeah, it's I think that's what I like about it a lot, though, is that it is different every day. There isn't that clear cut in and out. Like, it really just keeps the brain turning, and it keeps you on your toes, and you get ready for it, and then go through it and execute and figure out what to do better next time.
Yep. What's been a challenge from the last year or 2 that really pushed you to kind of develop as a professional?
Oh, I mean, weather's always a challenge. Just taking learning lessons, and obviously the big one that I was pretty transparent about last year is we sprayed our rye out, and it definitely worked, but it showed, and so that was tough. And then this year, I actually think we're in a better spot because of the winter we had, but it took a really long time. In my mind, we were actually about a month behind getting the Bermuda going this year. So that was tough. Because
you guys had like a crazy early start though, right? This was new.
March 1st. Yeah, it was new. Normally we have March to get ready, but really it was back to weather base. It's just a cool, wet spring.
Yeah.
It was insane how much rain we got. And then also, I mean, it was still 50 in May, which is kind of unheard of.
Yeah. No, same out by us. Like, it was a brutal start to the summer. Just rain every single day. And I mentioned to you earlier, we went out to the Toledo Mud Hens with Kyle Leppemeyer, and it honestly ended up being one of the coolest days to experience, because we typically roll up and it's like the grounds crew knows we're coming. Like, they want to have everything dialed into perfection, and he was seriously standing there the entire time on his phone. I got to actually experience it from that end for once, where it was like there were storms coming in and off that radar the entire day. They pulled tarp twice. Like, the game ended up, I think they got, 6 innings? Is that how much you need to have?
I need 5. Yeah.
Okay. So they called it right after the 5th inning. And they shut everything down, but it was really cool to see, like, when things were not going great, how people, kept morale up and everything like that.
Yeah, well, let's knock on wood.
Yeah.
But last night there was zero chance of rain. There was this big storm that actually ended up getting to us that wasn't supposed to. And so we put the tarp on last night and took it off this morning. So yeah, it's always a big challenge. So
Definitely. And what are some of those things that, you think that someone can only really learn once they're here in, boots on the ground as a grounds crew member, things that you're never going to learn in a textbook about a groundskeeper?
I think it's a big feel thing. It's your field, and like you're able to walk on it and feel if it needs more water or less water, and understand how to manage a crew as well. Like they don't teach you that in school.
Yeah.
And just get to know the guys and give them an environment that they want to show up in.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that hurdle, especially being a younger head groundskeeper. How did you really, was there a book you read or a mentor you relied on? How did you really kind of delve into that side of the job?
Yeah, being a younger groundskeeper, however, I think I've had 10 or 11 different bosses up until this point. So each boss, I took stuff away that I liked and threw stuff out that I didn't. And kind of molded myself into who I view hopefully as a good boss as well.
Definitely. So I know we have, you said 2 separate sets of brothers on the crew this year. So you've always done a really good job of promoting your crew on social media and just having, showing us a glimpse into the camaraderie and culture and everything like that. How much of, as a mentor, is it about wanting to see them go on and do their own thing? Like we talked about Jacob today, Jacob Scales, like him, being able to go off and really do the damn thing. Like he's doing it. How much of being a manager is that element?
It's huge. And whether they want to get into turf or not, I don't really care. I want you to find what you want to do. But my expectation is for you to do it well. And so whatever you put your mind to, figure out how you can, be better than others and stand out and do your job and pay attention to details. And that's, what I want to mold these guys into, whatever they go on and do.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to see guys move on and, still stay in touch with guys that aren't here anymore, whether they did pick the turf route or not. And it's just, I guess it answers the question too about that's something else that they don't teach you is, you don't realize that you're molding young men until you're already doing it. That's a heavy responsibility to take on.
Definitely. And also just how you let them go. Like you've invested all this time into them and how you're able to maintain a mindset of like, you're doing this investment so that they can go on and pursue different things. Like I'm sure that it's something you have to grapple with from time to time.
Yeah. It's always tough to see the guys go, but when they do go, that they're doing what they've been working towards, whether they graduate college, it's like, okay, now I actually have to go do what my degree is or, whatever. I'm really excited for one of my guys. He's starting at one of the airline companies here on Friday. And so, really stoked for him to move on and go do that.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. So what's been a big curveball for you guys this season that you've had to overcome as a crew?
Oh, I think just the hours. I'd be curious to look. It just feels like events just keep growing and the amount of hours we put in and it's funny too. The guys they're so great with each other, but they chirp each other pretty good. And there was an instance a couple weeks ago. I legit had to shut it down. I was like, no, we're done. Like, stop. Told 3 guys that we're done. So yeah.
And as far as work-life balance. Like, I hate using that term, but that's the only way I can sometimes describe it. You mentioned that you just closed on a house last week, so congrats. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And how important is it for you to show these younger guys on the crew, or just anyone on the crew, that like you are still having that life outside of work? I mean, and a lot of us, it's inevitable to have a life.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they make fun of me a little bit, but I try to take a game off a week, so I'll probably take tomorrow night off. But they, in a way, they make fun of me because what I do is I go home and I turn the game on at the house.
nice.
And they're like, well, what's the difference? And I was like, the difference is I go to bed right after the game's over.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay here for another hour and a half. But and then last week was a really good example. I took all week off, and it was a weird feeling, but I didn't have to stress about the field. And so it's nice, the guys took care of it, and I was able to focus on closing on a house and moving and getting settled in, and already working on a lot of projects on that.
Oh, so you moved in last week?
Oh yeah, we closed on Tuesday, and we were in there by Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, luckily it was a flipped house, so there wasn't any family that we had to wait on moving out.
Okay.
Like, we got the keys, and we were
off to the races.
Full steam ahead. Yep.
That's why. So was there there wasn't a 30-day like waiting period?
No.
Okay, that's really nice.
Really more that 30-day period, I'd have to go back and do the timing, but we put an offer in, it was June 9th, I think.
Okay.
If I remember right. So it kind of that 30-day
What's the housing market out here like? Like really competitive right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was really surprised when our offer got accepted.
Okay. Yeah, it's been wild. My husband is always looking for the next like project home, unfortunately. But the market is insane what they want you to buy a pile of crap for.
I know. It's ridiculous. So.
And it's like, oh yeah, I could go on for days about that one. I totally just lost my train of thought because I can't not get heated when I think about that. Just like, oh my gosh, the damn housing market.
It's wild.
But no, that's very cool. My other question was, I totally lost my train of thought. That rarely happens to me, honestly.
And it's tough because we're sitting here trying to, we're on a game day, so we're on a game day schedule, and so you probably see me looking at my phone, and I'm texting the guys, and
it never ends.
Coordinated, so.
But it did just come back to me because when you're talking about, watching the game at home, like, has it always been baseball for you?
Yeah.
So you think it will always be baseball?
I think so. I mean, we'll see what happens. And I've always talked about this. Like, I don't know what the offer would be if it came on the table. Obviously you acknowledge it when it does happen. But I love baseball. And I could see myself making this a lifelong career. And
do you like following the players, because you're really getting them in that start of their career?
Yep.
Do you love to go on and, have like this invested interest in all these guys?
It is. It's cool to see the guys because you want them to be successful too. And so you're stoked for them when they get called up or make their big league debut. And the relationships you're able to build with those guys is awesome. I mean, you saw me talking to one of them earlier, and that's just a everyday thing. So I think you'll really see that in a little bit too. Just the chatter that we have is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what can we expect, for the rest of the day? What does your outlook look like for the rest of the day? Yeah. So we're a little quiet right now, but we have a game day meeting at 3, so I'll run to that. And then I still got to go catch the away manager. I went down there earlier and he wasn't there. Figure out what he wants to do today. Like I said, guys, I tell we call them game crew, whatever, to be here at 4, but a lot of guys start rolling in around 3:15, 3:30. Get them going. We'll set BP up. I already know our team is taking BP. Luckily we're not doing grounders, so we'll set it right into BP and then figure out what Frisco's doing. And then I usually, it's when it gets this hot, I get a quick shower in around 5:30. It's just a nice reset. Reset, and then go into game mode. Yeah, and it's really cool. It's so fun to have you here and get to see all this. Like,
you'll be able to see it in a little bit. It is the well-oiled machine. And,
Yeah.
like, the guys just know, everybody knows what to do. And I love game days. They're so fun. Game days are almost, in some ways, yes, game days are long, but game days are almost easier, because you do have that routine.
Yeah.
Your set steps, and
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It's like there's a clear end to, like, okay, we do BP and then it's over and we have to go to the next thing. And I can imagine, like, on those days when it's like the team's out of town, it's like that list probably never ends for you, where it's like we could get this thing in as well.
Yep. It's always I always joke, on when the team's on the road, we try to work 9 to 5, but that doesn't always happen. So,
and what is that game time feeling for you? Like, where are you at the height where it's like everything is building to this moment, and then when it's goes off without a hitch, you're like, yeah, this is like euphoria almost.
Usually once we get through the first couple innings, I'm a big believer that if something's going to go wrong, it's always either at the start of the game or the end of the game. But once you get through those first couple innings and things are rolling, and then all of a sudden you're going to drag for the third, and then all of a sudden you're going to drag for the sixth, and then all of a sudden the game's over and you're going out there to, flip the field for the next day.
Very cool. Yep. Very cool. Well, as we've mentioned a few times on here, it is game day, so we'll turn you loose so that you can get back after it. And everyone just know that if you're hearing this episode, I did make it out alive, was able to send it back to be edited, and we had a successful day.
You did mention that the heat is a different type of heat here, and people don't realize it until you're in it. So.
Yes, it's like, I will say it's very similar to Cleveland, where it's that humid, like sticky heat. But I was telling you earlier, like the Arizona heat, I think that was easier than this because it's that nice dry. But I will say you guys do have quite a nice breeze out there, which we don't always get in Cleveland.
The wind blows here.
Hard,
so. Yeah, always fun chatting with you. Really stoked to have you out here. And let's have a good rest of the day.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.